I ask you a question.
So yes.
Should I wait till
Yes.
end of the session to ask you a question, or should I ask you now?
It's up to you, Sam. We don't have any strict rules here.
Okay, okay. So I was trying to create a simple SQL a report, as in Tableau report,
Okay.
and I come
Okay.
across a couple of things. So
Okay.
do you have an email address that you can share? I will send you the
Yes.
SQL,
Yes.
this basic SQL,
Okay.
and we
Okay.
can
Okay.
take a look at it
Okay.
at the end of the session. It may take 5,
Okay.
10 minutes of your time.
Okay. Okay. So
Is that
you,
okay?
Stuti, you got my email ID? Weekend.
Uh,
Hello.
not as of now. I have not received your email ID.
Okay, unfortunately, means organizer Srini was a bit busy. He was facing some problems. When his uncle passed away, and he was busy with that. So I'm pinging you Gmail, my Gmail ID right now. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So you both
Uh,
can have it
sure. I have downloaded the
in the
student
chat.
version of Tableau, and I have
Okay.
started practicing with that. So, like,
Okay.
I have gone through almost all the mappings that you have showed us. Can you please explain the Gantt chart one more time? Like, I'm a bit confused with that. Gantt chart.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Gantt chat, right?
Yes,
Okay.
please.
1 minute.
Thank
So you
you.
got my email ID, right?
Yes, now I got it.
Sure.
Okay. Good. Okay, both. Okay. So Gantt chart, right? So I'll just try to recap things because we have enough time. That's not a problem. Okay. Because sir. So you practice anything on extract? Please remember there is an incremental refresh here, okay? And we can filters in extract, and these are data source filters, okay? Please remember that. Okay. So Gantt chart, right, Stuti?
Yes, please. Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am.
Yes. So Sam, you will be sending the SQL in. I mean, in today's class only. You want to discuss that or tomorrow's?
Yeah, I have sent you. It should be, yeah, I already sent you. Have you received one?
No, no, no. I'm not checked my Gmail, so I'm trying to check it. And Stuti,
Yes.
Gantt chart is used to, is used to analyze your data in task or in small parts and compared to somewhere. For example, I told you, right? If you are doing a project, okay, so project will be for 3 years or 4 years, but if every employee of that project will be working for only some short period on particular task. They might be working for all 3 years or 4 years, but they will be working on task, right? Each individual task. So that task will be active for only 1 month or 2 months or 3 weeks, 2 weeks. It can be any time period, right? To
Okay.
analyze such sub parts of time period in a overall project, or for example, you can take these examples also. For example, a number of players active in a team. For example, if you take any cricket team or baseball team, active players will not be same always. Some players might get injured, some players might take rest, and some new players might be coming. So the baseball team will play for a long time, right? Some 30 years, 40 years, so it will be playing continuously. But the players keep on changing, right?
Yes.
So to analyze the player's short time period, you can use Gantt chart. So Gantt chart is for that purpose. So what I did on that day was to use the Superstore data. I created a field with respect to days when to get that subtask. Okay.
Correct.
So for that I wrote date
So
diff function.
let me ask you this way, like if we are doing
Yes,
some kind
yes.
of project, okay, and they have different phases, let's say development,
Okay.
integration, I said to do it,
Yes.
something like that. So
Yes.
different team
Yes.
is working on it, and if
Yes.
we calculate, if we are using this kind of team to if that's the project, we can express the Gantt chart over here. Am I
Yes.
understanding correctly?
Yes. Yes.
And for that, why
So then
we
what?
require
Yeah.
calculation?
So what should you use calculation is, you do not use anything. So what you should do is try to put that different teams here. Okay. If you are analyzing by teams, if you are doing it by resources also, try to put it in dimensions. Okay.
Okay.
That becomes a dimension and it becomes your column row field here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And time period in terms of days or weeks or whatever it is, it will become your column value.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll try to show you. Okay, your time period will start like this. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, complete time period of the project start date or project end date, it can be like that. And what it should be like is, and next thing is, you should pull in before that, wait, or you can pull in any customer category, subcategory. I will try to pull in subcategory. Okay, so each team you can pull like this. Okay, so each team you can pull like this and time period will be like this. So these bars you are seeing, right?
Yes.
So these are already Gantt bars. Okay, these are already Gantt bars. It's automatically Gantt bars. Okay. So by default, if you don't get that, change your date to date field and make sure that you have project end date and project start date, and you make sure you have every date in between them. Okay. Here in order date also we don't have every date, but still we have good number of days. That's why it's showing a proper chart here. So all these are Gantt bars. So as soon as you do these things, you should be able to some chart here. So to show you proper size, what I did was I prepared a calculator field with days. Okay. So otherwise, Stuti,
What are
what
the
we are
gaps?
seeing is a basic. Yes, yes, Stuti, go ahead.
What are the gaps in between?
Gaps in between is the time period they are not active. For example, I'll show you. I'll show you. Let me create this calculator field. Okay. Day part. Let's take order date. Why it's gap? Because, for example, development team is active from April 1st to maybe at the end of June 1st. Okay, let's take it. They are active for 2 months only. After June 1st, they will not be active, right? Then testing phase will start. So that means from June 1st, testing phase line will be there, but development phase will not be there. For some time, they might be inactive, right? So
Yes.
that inactive time period is
Yeah.
blanks.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now I get.
that
Thank
active. Okay, okay, okay.
you.
Okay. Okay. So now if I pull into this into size, okay, size of each bar varies. Okay, this binders is active for every. I mean, it's there almost every day. Okay,
Mm.
so binders is what you it's shipped to customer almost every day, and you see this machines or something. It's only 90 days, 19 days, such things. Okay, it's 5 days also. Okay, even you will see in your chart also, you will see bars like this. That means, for example, your manager will be working from start to end, right? But
Yes.
development team will be working for some time only, whereas testing phase will be working from some time only. So like that, you will see bars. Okay. So, but your manager will be active for throughout the, or client manager will be active throughout the project, whereas your your team or development team or testing team will be active for some time, 6 months or 1 year, it depends on the project. Okay, got it now how to analyze it?
Yeah. Okay. Thank
Okay, okay. So Sam, 1 minute, Sam, I'm opening my Gmail. When apart from Gantt charts, please remember how to use scatter plots, line charts, and pie and maps. These are very, very important. So those are a daily charts. I mean, in any project, these are very basic charts. So select extract. Okay. What is this syntax, Sam, you are using?
What do you mean by that? Oh,
I mean,
this is
where
Teradata.
where are you writing this?
Teradata.
Okay.
Yeah. Teradata, I'm writing it, and I have a couple of things. What I did was, these are a huge table, like you say, web URL. It's tracking a web, right? These are a huge table, visit URL and all that. What I did was I used these couple of these filters and create an extract out of it using couple of filters, and I'm using couple of filters in the reporting layer. It let me do all that, but the problem I'm facing is create a attribute in a select statement where extracting a year out of this column. That's what I'm not sure how to do that.
Okay, create attribute. Okay, what are, I mean, after creating this, writing this query and extracting, so what are you seeing in your dimension? You are seeing a date, you might be seeing only year, right? This one.
Yes, what I am seeing is, I have this open. What I did is I basically joined these three tables, right? There are three tables in this SQL. I bring all those three, join that, and put two of these as in filter. Let me see your screen. And create an extract.
So what would be happening, Sam? You are pulling in year. So year separately, it's taking as a measure, right?
It's taking as a no. It's not taking any of these as a measure. No. I still want it to be attribute, right? Because I'm selecting it as an attribute. Isn't that right? I'm just extracting a year out of that.
It should be dimension.
A dimension or attribute, whatever you want to call it.
Attribute is right, but dimension.
Yeah, dimension. I'm sorry. Okay. So if I'm extracting a year out of this column, it still should be a dimension. Yeah. So how would I extract just a year out of that dimension?
When you're separately pulling in year, month, year, so you're not seeing separate columns for it?
I am seeing a separate dimension for that column. Yes.
Okay.
I'm seeing initial page view dim as, let me see, I do have that.
So where are you writing this query, Sam? You're writing in new custom SQL?
No, I'm not writing this SQL. I'm just mimicking this. What I'm doing is, I'm just creating a model. I'm just bringing these tables from the Teradata to my local Tableau. This visit URL, web URL, and a person population sponsor column. These three tables I bring in, I join it in inner joining to each of these columns, right? Like this SQL says, and then I create an extract out of it. I put two different filters to make it smaller. Even with that, it takes 20-30 minutes. I don't know how long. I use two of these filters to create that extract, and then I'm using these rest of these filters in the report itself. Is URL like blah, URL like blah, and these three filters in the report itself. But the place where I'm kind of struggling is to create these extract out of these extract year and month out of these columns.
I think I should see that. Can I see that?
You want to see? Yeah. How can I share my?
I'll try to make you presenter. You got the presenter?
To become a presenter, a small extension to select and add. download. It asked me to download something here.
No, okay, go to meeting, I think.
Is that,
Okay.
should I do it? Add in.
It happens for a few seconds.
Okay.
And if you don't mind it, you can do it. Because it's a GoToMeeting download.
Share your screen. Go to the meeting. Would like to share. Okay, share this. I don't know whether my file will share. It's not doing anything. Why is that?
Wait. It happens slowly. So you might be seeing this small computer icon beside your speakers.
Yes, it's trying to, seems like trying to share. Is that right? I'm seeing a screen where it says share your screen, go to Meeting Pro sharing, and I clicked on share and I see a dotted line in one of the icon there.
Okay.
It's taking forever. Why is that?
Yeah, first time GoToMeeting is slow.
Okay. While this is working, I have one other question.
Yes.
So I see these tables that I'm joining in and bringing in has lots of columns to it, since it's a web type table, right?
Yes.
And I'm seeing all those different columns as in dimension in my report or on the worksheet. Is that workbook? That's what we call it, right?
Yes.
In my workbook, I just wanted to show a couple of only the needed attributes from that dimension, so that it looks much neater.
Okay. So what you should do is while extracting itself, you can select the columns. If you right click there in extract, right? So there you will be seeing something called as hide columns or hide all unused columns.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay.
So once I hide it, you say if I hide it and publish it or extract it, I won't be able to see that at all, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, it's taking forever. Do you think, this is my office laptop, do you think firewall is preventing this from this?
It might be, but I'm not sure. It might be, but I'm not sure. Because GoToMeeting companies will not accept. Sometimes.
Oh, is that right?
Sometimes. So you have administrator access, right?
This laptop, yes.
Okay, then you should be able to. Okay. So Sam, I will try to repeat the steps. Please please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So what you are doing is you have 3 tables and you are getting them from data using your server links and everything into Tableau. In Tableau, you are joining those 3 tables, right?
Yeah.
So using which join? Inner join.
Which exact same as the query itself. We're using the join on those 3 columns, right? Inner join on URL ID and then inner join on web row good and
Okay. So did you click a preview data there after joining?
I join the data comes. No, I didn't do preview. What I did is I do have an extract in my desktop here.
Okay.
And the extract comes out just fine. It seems like.
Okay. So whenever you join Sam, so you should be seeing a preview data or view data there. You will have options to see the data there. So you better see the data to verify whether it's correct or wrong. The data which you are pulling is right or wrong.
So we have an option to preview. If it's joining million rows 2 million rows, how soon do I get the response back?
Just keep there 10 rows or 15 rows, add extract filter. Okay. Add an
Okay.
extract filter, pull
Uh-huh.
only top 10 or top 20. Okay.
Uh-huh. Okay.
After publishing or before publishing, this
Uh-huh.
publishing, so you can remove the filter and you can publish it to server.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. So first time, that's why I told you extract is very important. So while extracting, you pull just top 10 rows or top 20 rows, how many rows you want to see.
Uh-huh.
See the preview data. If you think everything is right, then while publishing, remove that filter and publish to server. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So that will be easy for you, and you can correct if anything is wrong in your joins or anything. Okay.
Yeah, sure. That was the other question too, right? So each of these model or extract, do we want to make it like a common for to do multiple different reports using if there are several different reports using these tables or views, right? We wanted to make
Yes.
that
Yes.
extract work for multiple different reports, right? Not just for this. Can we?
Yes.
Is that a normal practice, or you could basically
That's the
create?
best practice.
That's the best
That's
practice.
the best
Okay.
practice.
So if
Instead of
that's the
pulling
case,
all
then
data, yeah.
go ahead.
Instead
Sorry.
of pulling all data, you better pull only part of your data so that it will be fast. Okay.
So
And
what
Tableau
you are?
server will come into the picture. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Tableau server will store that data in, I mean, all these extract data and all these things will store it in columnar database, which is faster than RDBMS, right?
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's why it's fast. So to try to leverage server, I mean server complexity or sophisticated technology in server, you
Uh-huh.
better use extracts. It will be fast.
So
Okay.
better use extract. So my
Yes.
question is, thanks for that. But my question is like looking at this SQL, right? This is customized for one report where it has a where clause to get only a specific client, a specific URL, uh,
Yes.
and things of that
Understand that,
nature.
Sam?
So when you
Yeah.
create extract, do you create just to match this report, or just create extract to grab everything from these three tables? What
Even
do you
though
think?
you are developing it, yeah, even though you are developing for only one report, don't hesitate to create an extract because, for example, in your database, if you're using 1 million records for this report, I mean,
Mhm,
after using layer filters and all those things, so
mhm.
imagine how many rows will be extracted if you don't use an extract and if you
Oh
try to
yeah,
connect it
yeah,
live.
yeah.
Imagine how many rows. All that is unnecessary burden on server, and it will slow up your process. That's not the good thing to do. Okay.
Okay.
Your Tableau will become very slow whenever you try to run the visualization.
So
Okay.
my thought process was instead of going live, can we
Okay.
create an extract out of that whole three table and put it in a server, and I can
That's what.
reuse that extract to
Yeah.
create a different report. Can I do that?
Yeah. You can do that, but when you try to do it, or follow the best practices like using top 10 filters and publishing them. Before publishing them, don't try to pull all data into your tablet.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
So while
Okay.
pulling the data from extract, using an extract, you try to pull only 10 rows or 20 rows. Or, in fact, if you are sure of extract, use only 0 rows. That's the best thing.
Just to see the column header whether it fits
Just to
right.
see the column headers and such things. After
Uh-huh.
publishing or while publishing, you
Uh-huh.
can remove those filters and publish it. Okay.
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 Like
So
any
it
other
is,
code, right? You wanted to verify
yes,
before you publish it.
yes,
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
absolutely. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So coming back to this extract one, could you show it
Okay.
in the one that you have since we are unable to, since like
Yeah, that's
is
possible.
it already been shared with you? Are you seeing my screen? No.
No,
Please try.
we are not seeing your screen. No,
So I'm going
still
to
we are.
cancel it and
Okay.
let's
Okay.
use the attribute that dimension that you have and try to
Okay.
extract year and month out of one of those
Okay.
dates.
Okay. So I'm taking the presenter now. This one is
By the way, we can see you now.
That's good. Okay, good. Okay. Just I got ready to go to office. Okay, we'll see extract today. We'll show you. So as soon as you click any table or anything, you'll be seeing this extract. Okay, you click on it, go to edit, or you can see here also number of rows is there. 9 is very advanced. You have a lot of options here. So this is number of rows here. If you want to decrease the number of rows, you can do it here only, but it will not be affected in your extract. But here there is something called as filter here. You can set top 10 rows, top 20 rows, like that. Okay. So this is the filter. If you are not using any fields here, don't click hide all unused fields here, because it will hide all other columns which you are not using from extract. Okay. So don't do that. Come here. If you are not using it, come here, hide column by column. Okay. 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 So if you want to preview data or view data, so you see this option here. On the right side of every table, you can see view data. If you can't see there, you can click here. Okay, for viewing data, we have multiple options. So you can see here or here. Okay, don't miss that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So is that clear, Sam? So
Yes,
while
yes.
extracting, try to optimize these filter conditions and all those things. Okay.
Okay.
So give an incremental refresh if you are sure. If you don't give incremental refresh also, that's fine. So whenever refresh happens, it will be a full refresh. That means all your data will be extracted based on your filter conditions which you have given in your extract. Okay.
How would the I see the incremental refresh option. How is that? Like if I put it in a, do you need to put like a full load? How does it know to do full load if you just don't
Default.
specify anything else?
Default. By default, it will do a full
So by
refresh.
default, it's full load. So
Yeah,
once you create it and put it in the server, it will.
Yeah.
What time would it do? Can you give a time to do full load?
When you are publishing the extract, so when you are publishing the extract, it will ask for your scheduling. Okay.
Okay.
So you can specify the schedule there. Okay.
So once the server component is come into picture, I can see all those
Yes.
options.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll go to sheet. So next topic and most important topic which I thought of teaching you today is filters. Okay. So filters is very important because it improves your performance whenever you are using it, and we have seen one best example now. In extract also try to use filters. If you are connecting to live data source, also use data source filters. So wherever there is a possibility, try to use filters. So we have some 4 to 5 types of filters, again based on what people say mostly. Okay. First and foremost thing, this is a very easy thing. I'm trying to solve it. Okay. For example, okay, this is a very basic filter, or people call it as normal filters. Okay, so there is no much complexity to it. I'm just selecting some things. Keep only or exclude. This is very important and very simple at the same time. So keep only or exclude. So if you want to keep them, you can click only, keep only, or if you want to exclude, you can exclude them again. So select them and exclude them like that. Okay. So you can do these things. This is just a normal filter. This is just keep only or exclude. Okay. Okay. So next most important thing what we have seen is extract filters. Okay. So extract filters is also very important because it will try to reduce the data which you are pulling into Tableau. Okay, and it will improve your performance. So whenever there is a possibility, please use extract filters. Okay. And from now on, you should observe my screen, because when I click on dimension, it's a different window like this. Okay. When I click on measure, it's a different window. Okay. When I click on measure, different window. When I click on dimension, it's a different window. And when I click on date, again it's a different window. Okay. Are seeing right?
Yes.
Please remember that. And this is extract filters. If you give any filters here, it will be extract filters. If you give any filters here, it will be extract filters. Okay. That is one type of filters again. And this is data source filters. That means it will filter the data even before it is pulled into Tableau. Okay. So it will filter the data at data source itself. Okay. Even before calculations, such things are applied only, it will get filtered. And window will be same. Okay. So for measure, date and dimension, 3 different windows will pop up. Okay, based on what you click. Okay. We'll see in detail all these 3. Okay. But please remember, extract filters and data source filters. We have 2 types of filters.
So Ram, data source filters. So after we get the extracted data, will it work on that, or will it work on database?
It will work on database. Before data is pulled into Tableau only, those filters will be applied.
Okay.
So extract filters will be applied only after extract is done. Okay. Okay. So this is one basic filter. Keep only exclude. It's the basic thing. Yes, tell me, Sam.
Yeah, so what you are saying is, when I apply the filter in the extract itself, it will bring all the data and then filter it in what layer? In the Tableau layer versus the. So you will first pull all the data and then apply that filter?
No. While creating extract itself, for example, if you are doing joins without using filters and without or not on extracts, first it will try to pull all data. But if you are not doing that, you are trying to use the extract directly and you are trying to filter on it, then data will be filtered and then extract will be created.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So now, please observe, guys. So what I am trying to do is, if you remembered, control click is very important. So this is filter on my dimension, that is subcategory. Okay. All values are displayed here. If you want to remove any value, particular value, you can unselect it if it is less values, or if it is more values. Okay. Click on none. If you want to avoid just 1 or 2 values, click on exclude. That's the best thing to do. Okay. Okay, this is just simple select, so nothing here, nothing complex. Custom value list is, as I told you, you can type your values here. If you just remember, okay, with the values in your column, you can type it here, and you can say add. It will add, okay, as a filter. But don't do these things unless and until you are very sure, because Tableau is case sensitive. And use all. And case sensitive doesn't mean it's always case sensitive, but in functions, calculations, sometimes it's case sensitive. And use all is, it will use all values, okay, whatever values are present there. And wildcard is very important, okay. We'll see practically, don't worry. So wildcard is just like your SQL wildcard. So today Sam has given percentage, like, and such things, right? So that is here. Okay, for example, you want to see, for example, binders, furnishings, all these things contain mostly, not seeing any common values here, but furnishings pieces. You can write like this, contains paper, you can't say on I storage. Okay.
You can put binders, labels, envelopes.
No. This is a substring. So that's what I'm searching for. So something like IES, okay. So you say contains, okay, that string contains IES or such things, okay. So that means furnishings will come out. Apply IES is again not. So there is no common thing here. I will try to use some other dimension, then we will see this. So it will try to see contains, okay, contains any value which contains IS in it, like furnishings. So we'll pull out the data, okay. And starts with is, for example, any word starts with like F, okay, or A. We have F, starting with F we have almost one, two, so only two, very less. Okay, we'll take some other dimension and we'll see that. Okay, ends with is also like most of the all our ends with yes except art. So if you want to give S, you can give S. Okay, such things. But exactly matches is also exactly matches. So for example, it's BINDERS. If it is spelling mistake, something wrong, it will not take. Okay. This is very important now. For example, conditional filtering is very important. You want to filter on a condition. For example, you want top sales or sum of sales greater than 50,000. Okay, such things you can filter here. Okay, by default it's sum of sales because we have our measure is only sum of sales. If you want to click on any other field, okay, if you want to create an any other field, still you can do it. For example, let's take profit. Okay, I'm taking sum of profit greater than or equal to 10,000. Okay, 10,000. As soon as I apply, it will apply. See that? You're seeing that? So it's not only the column which is used in your visualization, you can filter on anything. And as soon as you add a filter, you'll see a icon. I mean, see in filter section, you'll see it. That is called section or card. Okay, in filter section, you'll see the filter condition. Okay, anytime if you want to edit it, you can come here and you can edit it. Okay, because given a condition here, it's greater than 10,000, so it's here. Okay, then otherwise if you don't want to use it, okay, we have a calculation here. But the only problem with calculation is I'm giving the same calculation here for your understanding. The only problem with the calculation is we have to follow the syntax, otherwise it's easy, because we have to give the square braces for any field which you write, and spelling should be correct. So if you miss anything, it will throw errors and it will not filter. So obviously you will suffer. So try to use only these things. So it's same. All those options which are available here will be available here mostly. Okay. See that. Now we'll give some other number or less number so that we can see all the eliminated rows here. I'm clicking on apply. Okay. We're seeing more, right? Because it's only 1,000 here. That's why we are seeing more. See, let's see 100. We'll see one thing. Okay. So that's how it is. Okay, you can write formula also like this. Formula is nothing but your calculations. Apart from that, nothing else. So these are very simple. I mean, if you want to write any complex things, we'll see scrolling one by one example. Okay. By field is there. Okay. By field again, it's same as this one only. Okay. This is top or bottom. If you want to see bottom, based on your discount or anything, you can select any other field. It need not be the same field which is used in your visualization. Okay, I'm taking not bottom 10. Let's take just 5 because our count is already very less. Okay, if you say apply, you'll see that this is bottom 5. Okay. Similarly, you can select any other column, but that doesn't mean, for example, you are taking customer ID, your count will be very less. See, it's not sum because it's a dimension. So then you should go for count. Okay. So you can say count of customer ID less than 5. If it is there, it will display. Okay. It's not displaying. That means it's not there. Let's take 2. At least we'll see if each subcategory has whether 2 customers or not. Okay. They have machines and copiers has 2 customers. Okay. That is minimum. That is the maximum 2 customers. Sorry. It's bottom 2 customers. It's not top. Okay. Bottom 2 customers. It's not top 2 customers. Okay. You'll see what happens if you change it to top. Again it's changing, but no much change. Okay, but still the bar which is showing here is for sum of sales only. Okay, it's the bar is for sum of sales only, and here the filter is on customer count of customer ID. Okay, filter is different and sum of sales is different, but it's applied on this subcategories. Okay, this is on a dimension level. Okay, such things. The same formula, count of customer ID, you can write it here. Okay, but while writing, please remember it's case sensitive and spellings also should not, spelling mistakes should not be there. So just that's simple. I'll try to use none so that not use these filters. Otherwise, I'll create a new chart. We have a lot in filters. Today we'll see some basics because we have already run out of time almost. We'll see some basics today. Tomorrow I will show you in detail. Okay, we have very important things in filters to see. We have context filters, cascading filters. So that's very important to understand. I'll try to take the category again so that it will be easy for you to understand. Yes. Yes.
Ram, can you take order date and then
Order date. That's what, Sam. We'll go one by one. We'll go one by one. Okay. I pulled in dimension first. Now I will try to pull in measure. We'll see what happens. Okay. We'll go one by one now, Sam.
Because I wanted to do it two at a time. Right?
Okay.
Like order date, if you do, you can extract a year out of that order date and only show year.
Yes. Yes. 1 minute, Sam. So I am trying to take it. Order date. Please observe, Sam. Please observe. When I'm doing normal drag and drop, you're not seeing anything here. You're just seeing it this way. And whenever you click into filters, okay, you'll have these options. So years will be like this. Okay, this way. But when you want to pull only year, now it's only year here. Okay, click it, right click here, or you'll see a small arrow icon here. When you click on it, you'll see all your options here. Okay, along with examples. Okay, so 2015 Q2 May.
So, one question.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So if I pull what you are saying, if I pull the expiration date in my model, it should give me an option just to extract year out of that. Initial page.
Yeah.
Let me see.
It will.
Okay.
It will.
Yeah.
So you're doing it.
No, go ahead. I will try on my time. I don't want to stop.
No, try it now because.
Let me do that.
So this is what I'm doing, Sam. I'm doing a simple drag and drop. Okay, I'm doing a simple drag and drop, and I'm getting all these options. Okay. And Sam, you are filtering on year, right? You are getting only year. So it's not year, date, and month format, right?
I'm just extracting, like the sequence, I just want to extract a year out of that column, which is timestamp, it seems like. But.
Okay. Try to convert into calendar if you don't see calendar here, and then try to pull it into your filter section or into your visualization. Otherwise, you might not be able to see it. Okay. So after dragging and dropping in filter section, you can click on any component you want, and you can filter on it. Okay. Or you can give range of dates also. By default, it's range of dates here. So here you can see range of dates, starting date, end date, special, all these things will be there. Okay. So I thought of showing you slowly. We'll see it anyway. Okay. Okay. So whenever you click in date, okay. Whenever you click in date, so this is one way. Otherwise, and there is another way. Not many people were aware of. Right click on it and drag. Okay. Right click and drag it. You'll see this different window. If I do a normal click, see if I do a normal drag and drop, okay, you will not see anything here. Directly you have to come here and you have to change it. And please remember there is more option, that is custom. In most of the places in Tableau, you have custom options, okay, for anything. Sam, not only this, while you are pulling date, please observe, you go to your extract and see here, date properties are there. If you want to change it, you can change it. Okay. Don't forget this. This is very important. So you can go to date properties, right click on your data source and go to date properties and you can see it there. Okay. And that is one. So please remember, right click and drag will give a different window. Okay. And normal drag will give a different window.
Oh yeah, it's already working. I right click and drag it. It's now extracting only the year out of that thing. So it's using the extract.
That's good. That's good. Immediate implementation. Okay. Okay. So whenever you try to drop any date in filter, you'll see range like this. So you can select any date. Okay. Relative date, range of dates, starting date, end date, special. Special is null values. Okay. Null dates, non-null dates, such things. Okay. So while we're seeing more options, we will see what special, what's the importance of special, not now. Okay. So relative dates, relative date is, for example, you want to start from somewhere, okay, last 3 days with respect to current date, with respect to any particular date, then relative date will come into picture. Okay. That you can do. You can change that also, that's not a problem. Again, relative date, you want to go to days, months, back. I mean, you see, you click here, you can use anything. Okay. To display, especially to display your calendars, I mean manual calendars, you can use this. Okay, relative dates. Range of dates, I need not say that, you know what is range. So range is from starting date to end date. By default in Superstore, it's showing data from 2011 to 2014. Okay, and starting date is like your minimum. Okay, when to start. Okay, and ending date. And there is something called as show here. So if you have multiple filters, okay, if you have multiple filters, okay, in your filter section, then if you click on only relevant values, so after filtering from other filters, it will apply only the relevant values here. So it will not pull all values from database. So okay, tomorrow we will see practically how that works. Okay.
A quick question here, Ram.
So any more? Yes.
Why, as a default starting date, why they are using as a January 4th? End date I can understand, but
Superstore data is present to this date only.
We should know the logic behind it.
No. Superstore data is that where it starts is 2011 Jan 1st. Apart from that, nothing else.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Sam, what happened? Hello. Okay. It's just that, Suti, it's just that start date is there. Okay.
I'm just asking, is there any logic behind it? Why they use? Usually it's 1/1/2011 or something like that. 12/31.
No. It's not that. Our Superstore data starts from 1/4/2011 in the database. That's why it's taking that date, minimum date that is available for W. For example, if your database has a start date of somewhere around 2010, December 31st, then it will take that only.
Oh, okay.
It's just by default. You can change it anytime.
Okay.
Sam, you're able to see?
Yeah, I can hear you now. It was gone for a while, so now.
Okay. That's fine. So, clear, Sam? So, we'll see tomorrow in detail. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so, okay then. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Yeah, thanks.